Hey guys, welcome back. I've got another test for you. As per request, we will be testing ESET Smart Security Premium, and it's going up against Comodo Internet Security Premium, and we will be disabling one of the major components with the multi-layer protection that these two provide, and that will be the sandboxing. For ESET, they use a cloud sandbox. So as soon as a file is not known, it will stop the file from executing until it can get a rating. Comodo uses a different approach. They use a local container, which is kernel API, and if it's not known by the signatures, etc., it gets run into containment. It also uses cloud analysis or Valkyrie for that, but similar approach, but they still do it differently. So let's have a look see at ESET's settings. Okay, so pretty much everything is aggressive. Just going to quickly go through it. You guys can always just slow down or pause the video. Everything is set to max basically. Threat sense parameters, same for additional. So cloud-based, the live grid, we're going to leave that enabled because that's the cloud analysis. Live grid is just to submit or check. And then live guard, this is the sandbox feature. So the sandbox feature will be disabled. Also, we cannot change any live guard functions. Heaps, we're still going to leave ransomware protection enabled, etc. Okay, so then we've got network protection. So firewall, automatic mode, advanced, etc. Network attack protection, brute force attack protection is enabled. Packet inspection, these are all the default settings. Okay, web and email. So for web access, we're obviously going to test that as well. Okay. Okay, so that's about it in a nutshell. For Comodo, I've chosen the old classic theme. This is one of my favorite themes. It looks old, but I do still like it. Okay. So under the interface, that's it. Updates, use full signature, update every hour. Antivirus, set to high, everything's enabled. Firewall is enabled. Block request, HIPS, block request. Containment, we're going to disable it now. Okay, I'm going to disable that. File ratings still enabled, virus scope is still enabled, and script analysis is still enabled. Okay, so that's it. Just gonna OK that so that we can get the settings. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly disable the protection on these two so that I can get the malware extracted. And then then we can start the test. Okay, now that all the malware has been extracted, we just need to update these products. Okay, so they both are up to date. So we are going to test 2,200 samples for the day. I think that's a good challenge with them, especially with one of the important modules that are disabled. Okay, so I think it's time for us to enable the protection. Okay, protection is enabled. Okay, so we are leaving the live guard disabled because that is the cloud sandbox, so that will be disabled. Okay, host intrusion is still enabled, so this is for ransomware and things like that. For Comodo, we are just gonna enable virus scope. Okay, move it to stateful. Okay, as you guys can see, HIPS is disabled. We'll just disable it for the web test, and then auto containment is disabled. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, as you guys can see, both of them are ready. Okay, so all the pages are opening up. Okay, apologies for that. Seems like Smart Screen enabled itself again, not sure why. Okay, so we're just waiting for all the pages to load. Okay, so ESET is giving us notifications. Okay, pages are blocked. Okay, so we're having 6 messages there. Okay, Comodo is still loading the pages. I'm just going to wait for all these pages to load, and then I'll show you guys the results. Okay, sorry guys, I had to close the browser and just relaunch the script. I don't know, I think the browser was maybe stuck because all the pages were just keeping on loading and loading and rolling. Okay, website has been suspended. Okay, it seems like we do have one page that opened up. Okay, so it seems like one page has actually opened up. Okay, so ESET has a 100% score. I would say Comodo has a 90% score. I could be off by a couple of percentage, but judging, one page has opened up. Okay, so ESET won this round for web protection. Okay, so just before we start, as you guys can see, lifeguard is disabled and auto containment is disabled. So I think it is time to start this test, but what I'm going to do is I have to disable HIPS for the script to launch. So I'm going to start it, pause it, because this is the old classic view, I don't have quick access to HIPS. I have to do it a long way around. Okay, so HIPS is enabled, auto containment is still disabled. Okay, so both of them are executing. Just waiting for this to open. Okay, so I'm gonna let these two do their thing. And then when it's done, we'll see if there's any damages to the machines, and we will take it from there. Okay guys, now that all the malware has been executed, let's look at the results. So for ESET, we do have quite a bit of malware that's running here. Quite a number, as you guys can see. Okay. Okay, let's look at our startup items. As you guys can see on this end, still quite a lot running. Okay, startup items, not that much, but obviously we have net support, which can be used to remotely access the machine. these two, so actually not that many startup considering how much is running in memory. Okay, let's close that. So let's look at the Comodo. Okay, so for Comodo it seems like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running in memory still. Okay, so it seems like it's 5. I also did a rating scan. So 2 of those, or 2 files running now in memory is unknown, and 2 of them is malicious, so they will be cleared out. Comodo wants to restart to remove the last remaining malware. Okay, let's look at our startup items. Doesn't seem like we have any startup items. Okay, so gonna restart these machines so that we can then update them, do full scans, and then look at the results. And yeah, and then I'll let you guys know. Oh, and I completely forgot to mention this. I did notice that the host intrusion system was disabled just before I started recording again. I completely forgot to mention that, as I saw the red exclamation mark on ESET, and I did notice that heaps for some reason was disabled. So it could be that one or multiple of the malware was able to modify this configuration within ESET, because you guys saw in the beginning it was enabled, and obviously now it is disabled, so I'm leaving it disabled. So I just want to point that out. So I'm gonna should leave it open. So I'm gonna quickly just update these programs. I think Comodo did update, and then start the full scans. Okay, so the full scans are completed. So for ESET, we're just going to apply the recommended actions. Comodo has already auto cleaned the machine. So while we wait for ESET to quickly do that, let's look at the results. Okay, still no funny startup items. Let's see if anything funny is running. If you guys do hear a weird background noise, it is my cat. She always has perfect timing, playing with things and stuff like that. Okay, so nothing running in memory. Okay, ESET is close to done. As you guys can see, auto containment is still disabled. Okay, I'm gonna wait for ESET. I think it's still gonna be a little bit of a while. Gonna wait for it to finish cleaning, then we're gonna restart them both and start with the third-party opinion scans. Okay, so the scan didn't take that long. It seems like there's 2 files that were not removed. We haven't actually looked at ESET startup items. I completely forgot. Okay, doesn't seem like there's anything weird running. Okay, startup, we still have these 2. Okay, so I'm gonna restart them now and start with the third-party opinion scans. Welcome back everyone, and the results are in. So let's have a look see at Hitman Pro. So for ESET, it's only this. We only have one suspicious file. For Comodo, we do have a couple of temp files here, a couple of EXEs in the temp files. And then obviously just and just store malware on the desktop. Okay, that's it. So it's only the malware in the temporary folder. Okay, so for Norton we have app data roaming, Seems like a fake Kaspersky. Local temp. Roaming Microsoft. Okay, for Comodo it is clean according to Norton. Okay, ESET. Okay, malware on the desktop. And then update the roaming. Roaming Microsoft Windows startup menu, so a couple of startups here. And then directly under the user profile, a couple of Javas. And that's it. I'll close that. Close. Okay, so the quick smart scan didn't find anything there. For Comodo, malware on the desktop. Let's just skip that a bit. Okay, then update the local. Seems like it's the same ones that Heatman Pro was able to pick up. So it's only the local temp. We'll close that. So for the smart scan, also nothing there. While we're here on F-Secure, we have this one startup item. For Comodo, it is nothing. Okay, let's look at malware bytes. Okay, update. Okay, a couple of shortcuts here. Okay, then we've got malware on the desktop. Okay, so only malware on the desktop. Okay, for Comodo, the same ones again, the local temp. And then obviously malware on the desktop. Okay, and that's it. Now we'll just close this. Close that. Okay, so for Kaspersky, we obviously have update the roaming Microsoft. Another one there. For Comodo, it's clean. Let's close these error messages. Let's look at our startup items. Okay, so we still have this one startup items and then a couple of two Javas which will be related to the startup items that we saw on the other third-party opinion scanners. And for Comodo, there is nothing. Let's just look at Process Explorer. Okay, so let's look at ESET. Okay, so it doesn't seem like there is actually anything. This is related to F-Secure. Okay, so it doesn't seem like anything's running. Let's look at Comodo. Okay, doesn't seem like there's anything running. And let's see if actually anything installed. Okay, so can't see anything on the control panel. Okay, and then for Comodo, can't see anything either. Okay, let's just move this out of the way. Okay, so then we do have this shortcut here. I'm not sure if it's going to open. Again, it seems like the program is deleted. I think that's why it didn't show in the control panel. Okay, now let's look at our files. Downloads seems good. Let's look at our documents. Documents seems good. Pictures and pictures. Okay, so our picture seems good as well. Okay, so I think this is the end of this test. So let's quickly recap on our findings. So cons for ESET is we do obviously have a couple of startup items. The majority of third-party opinion scanners found malware outside our normal locations, like Microsoft App Data Roaming and things like that. And a couple of the programs were allowed to install, but only later on it was removed. And then obviously we had more malware running in the memory during the test. So yeah, so we obviously have the malware outside of our normal locations, but not that many. The pros for ESET, I would say, luckily no ransomware infection, no lagginess in the machine, or any funny stuff. It did actually do well without the containment, which will basically just downgrade it to a internet security, because that's one of the big differences. Is Premium has the cloud container, which we disabled, so in theory it was a internet security. But yeah, otherwise not bad at all, considering we did over 2,000 samples. For Comodo, cons, I would say obviously we do have more malware left in our folder, 282 versus 1157. So that's a con for Comodo, is low signature detections. We do have those files in the temporary location, but that are the normal locations. Malware always gets extracted to the temp, so that's where we'll find malware, but the malware will be rendered useless if we do enable the containment. So those are the cons. The pros, I would say, is Comodo did actually well, considering the container was also disabled. We have no startup items, we have no malware that's persistent. We only found malware in the temporary files. We did not find malware anywhere else in other of the roamings, app data or Microsoft folders or anything like that. So I think Comodo also did a really good job, considering their platform is actually based on their container. So yeah, I would say good results from Comodo, good results from ESET as well, but Comodo for me did better here. Less malware outside our normal folders, no startup items. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this test. It was quite interesting for me as well, to see how well they'll fare without their one of the security layers. We can maybe do also tests with other products where we will disable one of their key features maybe as well, to see how well they fare. But let me know if you guys want to see those type of tests. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was informative, and I'll catch you in the next one.